Before we dive into something truly fascinating, make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. You don't want to miss discoveries like this, especially if you've ever had a keen eye for rare treasures or a soft spot for history hiding in plain sight. Today, we're uncovering a gem from South Africa, a coin that looks ordinary at first glance, but I promise you, by the end of this video, it's going to blow your mind. Now, imagine holding a piece of history right in your hand. A coin minted over 3 decades ago, carrying stories from a nation that's seen dramatic change. Yet this small piece of metal has survived the test of time, quietly waiting for someone to appreciate its true worth. This is not just a 50-cent piece. It's a bridge to a past era, a tangible link to a world before smartphones, streaming, and instant everything. And for collectors, it's a golden opportunity wrapped in silver, or in this case, cupronickel. The coin we're talking about today is the 50 cents from South Africa, minted in 1989. At first glance, you might think it's just like any other coin sitting in a jar or your wallet. But let me tell you, there's a lot more going on here than meets the eye. Its design reflects the artistry and pride of South Africa during that period. The obverse proudly displays the national emblem, a reminder of the country's identity at the time. Flip it over, and you'll notice the intricate details that make this coin a standout. Every line, every curve, and every subtle nuance in its engraving tells a story of craftsmanship that many modern coins simply lack. For collectors, the year 1989 isn't just a number. It represents an era when coins were minted with precision, care, and purpose. Back then, the minting process wasn't mass-produced to the point of losing character. Each coin carried weight, both literally and figuratively. And while today's coins might seem mundane, this piece from South Africa captures a moment in history when every coin mattered, when every detail could make a difference in its collectibility. Now, let's talk about rarity. Not all coins from the 1980s are valuable, but this particular 50-cent coin has something special. Coins like this are sought after because of their limited circulation and the stories they carry. Over time, many of these coins were lost, melted, or simply spent and forgotten. That means the ones that survive, in good condition, become increasingly rare. And rarity, as any seasoned collector knows, is where real value is born. If you're the kind of person who loves discovering hidden treasures, this is where it gets exciting. Picture walking into your local coin shop, or even a casual collector's meetup, and casually dropping a coin on the table that could be worth more than you ever imagined. There's a thrill in that, a rush that's hard to beat, knowing that something so small, something you could almost overlook, carries enormous significance. And it's not just about monetary value. There's a sense of pride, a connection to history, that comes from owning a piece like this. Holding it, examining it, tracing its details with your fingers, it's almost like holding a conversation with the past. And for those of us who appreciate craftsmanship, detail, and a story behind an object, that's priceless. Let's also consider the design from a collector's perspective. Coins from South Africa in the late 1980s were not only functional currency, but also miniature works of art. Every curve, every letter, every symbol is meticulously crafted. The 50-cent coin's reverse design is particularly intriguing. Its symmetry, its balance, the way it catches the light. These are the things that set it apart from the everyday coins you see circulating today. And for a collector, those qualities can turn an ordinary coin into a conversation piece, a centerpiece for a collection, or even a family heirloom to pass down through generations. But what about condition? Here's the thing. Even coins that have been in circulation can be valuable if they've been preserved well. Look for coins with clear details, minimal scratches, and that unmistakable luster that makes the metal shine just right. Coins that are crisp, clean, and well-preserved often command a higher value, especially among serious collectors who are looking to complete their sets or acquire standout pieces. Now, I know many of you watching are thinking about investments. Let me be clear. Coins like this aren't just collectibles. They can also be a smart way to preserve wealth. Unlike stocks that fluctuate daily or investments that vanish overnight, tangible assets like rare coins have a history of maintaining and sometimes increasing their value over time. For those who appreciate both history and financial savvy, finding a coin like this can be doubly rewarding. And here's a little secret. The thrill of the hunt is part of the magic. Searching for rare coins, attending auctions, even checking change in your pocket, it's a journey. Every coin has a story, and the 50-cent coin from 1989 South Africa is one that collectors dream of encountering. Its legacy isn't just in its metal or design. It's in the excitement, the anticipation, and the joy of discovery that comes with holding a rare piece of history. Before we reveal its current value, remember why you're here. To witness the story of a coin that's far more than its face value. A coin that connects you to history, challenges your eye for detail, and excites your passion for collecting. And if you've stayed with me this long, it's because you understand that real treasures often come quietly, waiting for the patient and observant to notice. So, what is this coin worth today? How much could a 50-cent piece from 1989 South Africa really fetch? Well, here's the moment you've been waiting for. Depending on its condition, rarity, and the demand among collectors, this coin can be valued at an astonishing $25,000. That's right, $25,000 for a coin that most people would overlook. It's a powerful reminder that sometimes the smallest objects can hold the greatest surprises. And there you have it. A coin that seems humble but carries incredible value, both historically and financially. If you've enjoyed this journey into the world of rare coins, don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell. There's a whole universe of treasures out there, waiting to be discovered, and we'll uncover them together. Remember, history is all around us. You just have to know where to look. Before we begin, take a moment to hit that subscribe button. If you're a coin lover, a collector, or just someone who enjoys hearing stories of hidden treasures, you won't want to miss what's coming next. Each week, we bring you something that could be hiding in your drawer, your closet, or maybe even your wallet. And trust me, today's story is one of those that might just stop you in your tracks. Now, let me ask you something. Have you ever walked past an old coin, flipped it between your fingers, and thought, this is just pocket change? You're not alone. Most of us grew up in a world where coins were simply a way to buy bread, fill the tank, or maybe grab a newspaper. But time has a strange way of changing value, not just in currency, but in meaning, in rarity, and in history. And what used to be just 50 cents might now be worth the price of a mansion. Imagine this. It's the late 1960s or early 70s. You're standing in line at a corner store in Johannesburg. The air is warm. The world is different. You hand over a 50-cent coin to pay for a pack of smokes or a can of condensed milk. No second thoughts. You pocket the change, maybe toss that silver coin in your drawer, and forget it. Life moves on. But what if I told you that very same coin, one just like it, is today making collectors all over the world lean forward in their chairs, holding their breath in auctions, watching bids climb like wildfire? There's something deeply fascinating about South African coins, especially from the time when designs were shifting, leaders were changing, and silver was slowly being phased out. And right in the middle of that moment stood a coin that many never gave a second look, the 50-cent piece. But here's the twist. Not all of them were created equal. Some were struck differently. Some carried errors. Some had such low mintages that finding one today is like fishing for diamonds in the ocean. Now I want you to imagine the following scene. A man in his 60s is cleaning out his late father's desk. Among old pens, worn-out envelopes, and brittle black and white photos, he finds a small coin pouch. Inside, a few rusted buttons, a key that opens no door anymore, and a shiny silver 50-cent coin. He turns it over, notices the coat of arms, the crisp edges, and a date that makes his brow furrow. He shrugs, puts it aside, until something tells him to look it up. What happens next is no ordinary Google search. It's a doorway, a realization. This is no ordinary coin. This is the kind of piece that lives in the dreams of collectors. It's the kind of coin auction houses whisper about. Because this very 50-cent coin from South Africa, carries more than just silver. It carries a story, a scarcity, a secret. Now here's the part that gets really interesting. There's a particular version of this coin, produced during a transitional period, with specific mint marks, exacting detail, and a condition so pristine it looks untouched by time. That has fetched prices many wouldn't believe unless they saw the receipts. We're not talking about a few $100s. We're not even talking 5 or 10,000. We are talking serious figures, numbers that start to make your heart beat a little faster. You see, coins like this don't just become valuable overnight. It takes decades of aging, rarity, collector demand, and that mysterious it factor, something that can't quite be replicated or explained. It's the perfect storm: historical relevance, minting anomaly, and scarcity all in one small, metallic circle. And while most people glance past it, the wise, the patient, know its true potential. Now I know many of you watching right now grew up in a time when we valued things differently. We fixed what was broken. We held on to things. We remembered where we came from. So I'm asking you, what if that old box in your attic, that jar of coins in your garage, or that drawer in your bedroom is holding something that the world is ready to pay a fortune for? What if you've already touched it, maybe even dismissed it? And what if, after all these years, it's time for it to tell its story? I'm not here to hype up every old coin. Not every piece of change from the past is going to make you rich. But every once in a while, there's a coin that breaks the rules. A coin that defies its humble beginnings. A coin that goes from everyday currency to elite collector status. And when that happens, you'll wish you had paid just a little more attention. This is your moment. Check your coins. Look at the years. Notice the detail. Because hidden in plain sight could be the kind of treasure that changes your story. And if you happen to find a 50-cent coin from South Africa, especially one that shines with history, clarity, and rarity, you might just be holding more than a memory. You might be holding a miracle, because the top example of this very coin has been valued, verified, and sold for an astonishing amount, an eye-watering price tag that would have seemed impossible back in the day when you could buy a loaf of bread for a few cents. That number, my friend, is $2 million. Yes, $2 million. And it all began with 50 cents. So go ahead, open that drawer. Dig through those boxes. You never know, the next great coin story might just begin with you. And if you want to hear more stories like this, real coins, real people, real value, don't forget to subscribe. There's a world of hidden treasure out there, and we're just getting started.